We are so lucky to be back at our off-grid cabin and tying up a few of the things that we really want to get done before winter. Corey ended up going out to the cabin a day before I was able to.
All right, welcome back. We're up here Labor Day weekend. Canoe's on the truck for another Boundary Waters trip. We're gonna try to get a little more work done on the cabin. Got the trailer loaded up, bringing a generator, chop saw to make things a little bit quicker. Come along for the ride. First trip I brought the patio window and I just wanted to see how it would fit, and I actually was able to put both panes in relatively easy. We got to do some final leveling and secure it to the cabin yet, but a lot easier than I expected. Gonna unload the second trip and then go back for more. This last load is a bunch of 2x6, 2x4s, and 1x8s. We're going to try to finish the lofts so we have something to stand on to install the plywood and windows in the peaks. The lumber that we got is rough sawn, relatively green. It's got some moisture to it. It's not completely dry.
The rough sawn lumber we have is actually from Corey's brother's sawmill. Together with Corey's brother, Corey, and myself, we planed our own wood, and now we get to put it in our cabin. It's truly special.
We're gonna sand it and pretty it up a little bit before putting it in the loft. Hopefully we won't get no slivers, and then we'll stain it afterwards. For those that are a little more visual, I figured I'd show you where these boards go and what it's gonna look like before it gets too dark. We're running out of daylight already. So that's gonna be the bottom side. It's 1.5 inches thick, so it's plenty thick to hold weight. And then that's what the floor is gonna look like. More windows in the end here. Should be pretty nice.
I'm back at the cabin with Corey. He was out here yesterday without me and put the door in, and it looks amazing. We have a door. Wow. Oh, the cabin is full. Lots of building supplies. We got the window in. Today we want to work on the little loft over here and try to seal up these like top corner parts of the building that still are wide open. Maybe we'll get more windows in. It's chilly this morning.
It's a little chilly.
It's kind of nice. It's refreshing, but I am a warm person. I like it warm.
They're not secured, so if you want to go out there, make sure you go in at least a foot. Not secured, but you can sit on it if you want.
Ow, I just got a sliver.
Step on it.
This is absolutely gorgeous. I don't want to stain it. I think it looks
It's
beautiful.
not going to stay this way.
Why? It's inside.
Dirty shoes are going to get dirt on this and mark it up and make it gross.
We're gonna use this floor finish, bless you, to finish the floor up here. I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. This is our home sawn lumber that we got from Corey's brother's place. And we kind of worked on it together, and then Corey sanded it and made it really nice yesterday. I'm gonna finish it up here rather than down there, and then we will have one of our lofts. It's gonna be a narrow loft. It's only like, what, 4 feet? Is that what it is?
4 feet, yeah.
So it's gonna be kind of just a little place to come sit. Maybe somebody could sleep up here, but we have huge windows that are going in up here, and we want to be able to see them from down in the cabin. So that's why we made this loft narrow.
I hand these to you. You can lay them out. Get the full effect all the way across.
Is this all of them?
That's it.
Okay. We need more. Like 1.5. When there are walls and windows in this space, I'll always remember what it felt like to sit here with the absence of the walls and the absence of the windows. Corey made himself a saw table for his chop saw so we can cut our boards to length.
Last night I was working on the ground and that was not very safe or fun.
We also, over there, we have our generator, which is powering that. Some people have been commenting on our videos asking what we're gonna do for power. And I guess our plan is to do battery and recharge battery with generator. Maybe some kind of solar in the future, but as Corey was just talking to me about, it's not easy to do solar in such a wooded area. It's really nice here, but our solar would be out there in the swamp.
We'd have to trench a wire all the way back to the generator, to the batteries.
We just spent some time cutting our home sawn boards to lengths that will work for our loft. We're gonna put some up there and kind of dry fit it and see how it looks and if these boards are gonna be a perfect fit or if we might need to trim some to be special lengths for their unique spot in the loft.
Very well put.
Unique spots.
Rustic.
Unique. Every board is different. So this is just a start. We definitely have more boards to saw, a lot more. This isn't even half, but it's kind of nice to get a view of what it will kind of look like. Corey spent time cutting up the boards for the big loft while I went back to the little loft. Okay. Should I take my shoes off?
To you, they're pretty clean.
Corey cut and sanded all of these boards and then I secured them in here. It took a while, but now it is beautiful, completely gorgeous now that all of these boards are screwed down. I think it looks so pretty with the rough sawn lumber. It kind of has a rustic look. I'm really enjoying the cabin without all of the walls and windows in. I'm excited to have all of them done, that's for sure. I'm excited to have the whole cabin sealed up and ready for winter, but it's also nice to sit here with no window and no wall and be able to look out from the loft. So it's just lovely. While I was doing this, Corey was on that side putting down all of those boards and they fit in there kind of like a puzzle. So he was measuring them and making them fit perfectly. Now they're all set out. They're not screwed down yet, but we really want to work on the ends of the cabin to get it sealed up. So I think we're gonna work on that and then come back to the lofts. We wanted to start the loft so we have somewhere to stand on the inside as we build these walls and windows, but I think it's pretty much good enough to go ahead and do that, so that's gonna be our next step.
you want, you could come down here and hold this.
Corey does such a great job of cutting out the angles for the foam and the plywood perfectly. I don't know how he does it. We're gonna cut our plywood pieces for the ends of the cabin. We put the foam on one of the ends of the cabin, and now we're gonna cut out the plywood to go over the foam and seal up that end. We're gonna have just enough plywood, hopefully. So we want to make sure we're cutting it right. This is all Corey's area of expertise. I am spatially challenged sometimes. I don't know what it is. I just find these angles and which direction the wood has to go because it's got a different edge on one side than the other side. I think that's just so confusing. But Corey's really good at it.
Yeah, she's right. There's a tongue on the plywood. So your first sheet needs to go up with the tongue towards the next sheet, right? So if we put the sheet up just like this, we need to work from the left side to the right, which means our low side, the low side of the roof, needs to be on the left, and the high side needs to be on the right.
Some of the leaves on the trees are already changing colors, and there are some reddish orangish leaves already on the ground from the fall drop of leaves. It's crazy to think that it's already fall, or fall is already starting and beginning, because the summer has just flown by, especially with this cabin build. Building this cabin felt like it was going so slow for a very long time, and all of a sudden it's flying by as we get the walls up and the windows in. There's still a lot we want to have finished and get done before winter, so the fall changing leaves are a little bit nerve-wracking.
Last night when it started getting dark, it was pretty intense. All the rodents and squirrels and everything moving around, and the acorns dropping, and the woods came alive.
We haven't spent a lot of time out here when it was dark because we always want to get home.
Right.
But we're spending the night out here tonight, not in the cabin, but up in the yard, and we'll be out here till it's dark. So I'm kind of excited.
Try to get as much done as we can. Got it?
No.
No! Can I put it back on my ladder?
Yeah. Sorry.
Car trunk opening up.
We're trying to be wise about the use of our resources, and we need plywood for this little corner up here. And the plywood we're going to use is actually being used right now as a window. So we're going to cut out that window and then use that piece of plywood up there. So it's right here. That's where the big window will be.
A window. Look at the lights.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh my gosh, that makes the whole cabin so much brighter. Yes.
And then we can put the window in if you want.
Oh my goodness. We should do up there first, though. We'll put a glass down here.
You're right. She's right. Snow is right.
Look at that. By golly, when all these boards are gone and you can see out those windows. Yep. This is lovely.
That middle dark sheet against the middle light sheet. Lovely. Where? I'm running out of batteries.
There are batteries in the bag over here.
Is there?
2.
If you want, you can drill holes in the corners.
Okay. Wow.
Look at that.
Beautiful. I have to go that way a little bit, but.
Yeah, you'll tell me how to center it.
Perfect.
Three and a half by 48. If we do it in one shot. So we're coming down to the end of our plywood. We're trying to piece together the last remaining bits, put them to good use. We don't want a bunch of seams, but might be the way it ends up.
As we were working on some of our remaining windows, my brother showed up to help, and that is always such a big help. So my brother John showed up again to help out, and between the 3 of us, we put in another window and all of the trim and foam around that window. I had my phone set up on a time lapse. I don't know if I actually recorded it or not. My camera is having some technical difficulties. But anyway, that was the last thing we did tonight. Now it's getting dark, so we're gonna go do other things. Does it look secure?
Yeah, just doing some work over here.
Oh gosh. On this end, we still haven't put in the big window. We're waiting to put the big window in until we get those windows up there. And we are gonna have to go get more siding to close that in. The pieces we have, it was just gonna be a lot of patchwork and it wasn't gonna look as nice as we want it to. So we're gonna get 2 more sheets to put up there and then we'll put those windows in. After that's in, we'll put this big window in down here. Then we have 2 more windows to put in, one right here and the one around the corner on the other side of the building. Super nice to be out here, especially at night. We don't get to come out here that often in the evening. We're back at the cabin again. Today we have more plywood. We're gonna bring it out here. It's currently still up in the yard. The plywood will help us finish this open gaping hole at the top, and we'll be able to hopefully put those windows in today. It'd be nice if we could get those 2 windows in and this big window. That's a lot to ask for, but we also have 3 other windows as well that we'd like to get in the cabin. If we could get all the walls and windows done, it would feel so good. I'm staining a bunch of these boards, which we are gonna use to frame the windows all the way around. I think it's gonna look really nice, but the staining does take a while. So I'm gonna stain the 2 new siding pieces of plywood that we're getting from the yard. John's going to get it right now. And then I'm gonna continue staining the 1x4s that will frame the windows. And we'll be able to kind of piece together the exterior. You are ready to put windows in.
We're in a hurry.
I didn't realize that's what you were doing. All of a sudden I heard the plywood fall. Nice work.
Which way is the gym? That way? Or that way? Do I have my protein shakes in there? Where are my protein shakes, Corey?
The energy drinks.
Yeah, you got some energy drinks, man?
Want some kale salad smoothie?
Liquid ass. Oh, jeez.
Babe, there's water in this window.
Is there?
There's water in there.
Son of a duck.
I don't think this window is that great a quality.
put it over here. Let's just put it against this baby tree.
Baby tree.
Oh.
Sheet. If you can. Don't fall. Don't. I missed a step. Sorry, baby. There's no step on that one.
Not working. Put it over.
I do not got this, just so you know.
I've got it. Now I won't have it up if you lift any higher, but.
Are you ready?
Ready? Because once you lift it up.
Okay, but get out of the way then.
Okay.
Like way out of the way in case it falls backwards too.
Okay.
I'll do my best, but it's not gonna be good enough to stand under.
We can get it up a little bit higher. There we go.
So the thalamus is like a part of your brain where a lot of information comes in and then it separates it to where it's supposed to go.
Ah.
There's more to it than that, but that's like a way to think about it is like a...
Here, I'll do manual recording. Give it that lifelike feel.
What?
Give it that lifelike feel.
We stayed late cutting out windows, and the next morning we were back bright and early. Corey used spray foam to fill in the cracks around the windows while John was cutting out yet another window.
Kick it.
Take it.
It took a lot of effort, but we were able to get the windows in the top corner of the cabin finished, as well as the big picture window downstairs. John and I had to leave, but Corey stayed and worked on some of the framing for the rooms inside of the cabin, and it's really coming together nicely.